Hi everyone, welcome to Jetersblessings. My name is Marjorie and thank you for stopping by my channel today. Today I have these beautiful ribbons in deco mesh and this beautiful Happy Halloween sign from Craft Outlet. I did make this little work wreath out of a Dollar Tree wreath frame and some pipe cleaners. So first I'm going to start off with these little mounting clips, and I'm just going to use some super glue and hot glue to glue them down, and I'll let those dry completely while I am making the wreath. I do end up cutting the little jute string off, and in case you see some little fingers in the bottom right corner with my phone there watching a video, is my grandson. He just had to sit up here and craft with me. He is my little crafting buddy and I just love it so much. He really tries to do things, and so he's at the age now where I can have him help do little things here and there between crafting and cooking, and so it's great. He's my wonderful little helper and I just absolutely adore it. So once I have that and put this away, these are 30, wait, let me see. I'm trying to show you here. So the wreath frame has 6 sections, and within each section, which is, you see where my hand is, you see the crossbars. Didn't realize how this gold wasn't going to show up very much, but those are the crossbars, and there are 6 sections. So each section will have 3 pipe cleaners. The 2 inner rings have 1 in the middle, and the 2 outer rings have 2. So I do that to each section. So this is a total of 18 pipe cleaners. Each roll of the 10-inch deco mesh is 10 yards, which is 360 inches. So since I'm using 2 rolls, I want to calculate it to where 1 roll is half. So if I have 18 pipe cleaners, half of that will be 9 pipe cleaners, or 3 sections. So you divide the 360 by 9, and that gives you a total of 40 inches. So you'll have 18 total pieces of 40-inch long cuts of deco mesh. So I have my little 24-inch mat, which does me just fine, and all I do is measure out 24. Then I take that 24 mark and zero it out, and you see me getting all in my baby's way. And sweet boy, he is just loving that deco mesh. He's fascinated by it. He thinks it's great. He really wanted to help me cut it, but I had to try to tell him, no babe, you can't do it, it's a little sharp. So now he had to hold on to the phone because his Lala was getting in his way. So here I am rolling up about 3-4 times on each side of the deco mesh, and then I'm scrunching it in together to make a cruffle. Cruffle because it's just a mix between a curl and a ruffle. You also hear people calling it a woodland ruffle, but I just call it a cruffle because it's a lot easier. So again, roll up one side 3 to 4 times, and then I just put a little paper clip on it, and then again another 3 or 4 times, and then I just go right up in the middle, and then I hold it together, and I will put it in the one of the pipe cleaners. Now I do look at them on the sides to try to make sure that the mesh is even. You don't want pieces of the mesh sticking further out on one side than the other because it'll just look kind of off. But this is how it looks. Look how beautiful and full that is with just 9 chenille stems. Pipe cleaners. Sorry. So I've got my 2 ribbons. I've cut them at 14 inches and I've dovetailed them. And what I do is I crisscross them. Then I fold them in half, and then I put the half mark into the pipe cleaner. And again, here I'm showing you crisscross, fold it in half, I curl them at the ends, I fold it, and then I put it right into the pipe cleaner. And I do this on, I think, about 16 of the pipe cleaners, and I don't do it on 2 because it's getting hidden by the sign. So I have these various colors of deco tubing that I had got from the Dollar Tree maybe a year or 2 ago. And I just take them, and what I'm going to do is, if I remember correctly, I cut them at 24 inches, and I use all 3 pieces in one, and I put these on the 12 pipe cleaners that are attached to the 2 outer portions of the wreath. You got to be careful when you cut the deco tubing because you don't want to stretch it while you're cutting it, because then they won't be as long as the others, because they do stretch. So if you're stretching it when you're cutting one but you don't stretch the other, then your tubing won't come out even. So then, instead of cutting off the pipe cleaners, I want to use the green color as a little bit of extra decor. And so I just get you a little pin, or you can even use your glue stick, and you just curl them down. So here I'm taking my sign and I'm attaching it to my wreath frame. And when you attach them, you want to make sure that you're not pulling down too hard, because you don't want to pull the sign in and then you won't be able to see it as well. Everything else will it'll just be sunken in, and I try not to do that with my signs. I try to keep it to where it's up and sitting on top of the deco mesh. So here I'm about to make my bow, and I start with my little Harley Quinn ribbon. So what I did is, I knew I wanted to make 2 bows with whatever was left on my spools of ribbon. So what I did is I took them and I cut them in half, and then I set one set of the ribbons to one side, and then I took one set and I cut that ribbon again in half. So really I could have cut it in fourths, but I didn't really know how I was going to do it until I started making my bows, because I don't really know how much was left on my roll. So I was just kind of trying to figure everything out. But I go and I alternate my ribbon tails, and I do the loops at about 6 inches. The tails, I want to say, are about 8 inches. They might be a little bit longer because I was trying to use up the rest of the ribbon. But all I do is just alternate the ribbon in the loops. And then I do have this really cute 1.5 inch ribbon as well, and I do utilize that to add just a little more to the to the bow. So then you'll see that I take another set of the same ribbon and I alter them again. Now, some bow makers, what they like to do is start out with like a 6 inch or whatever inch that they're wanting, and then they tend to go a little bit smaller as they go in, anywhere between 1/2 inch to 1 inch. I normally don't do that. I think I may have done it like a couple of times, but I don't know. To each his own, however you like to make your bow. I personally like real big fluffy bows, and I know I say it in every video that I make about making wreaths, but it's the absolute truth. So with this last one, what I do make is a small little loop that's going to be my center loop. And I guess I'm just wondering where my pipe cleaner is, but there it was, sitting in plain day. I guess it was kind of blending in with my white table. So I put the pipe cleaner on and I twist it really tight. I'm dovetailing all of my 2.5 inch ribbon, and then my 1.5 inch ribbon, I like to just cut those at a slant. I typically don't dovetail those. Now, even though I'm dovetailing them here, you could do it before you put it on the wreath, or you could do it after, because I know there's been many times where I put a bow on the wreath and just the placement, like if a ribbon tail is hanging over the Halloween sign too much, oh my goodness. If the ribbon tail is hanging over the sign too much, then I'll cut it a little bit shorter, because I don't want them to cover up a good portion of my sign. I do like to have the majority of my sign showing. So like I said, I made 2 of these bows, and I put one up here, and then I do put one towards the bottom. And is this not the cutest design of the bows? I just love the Harley Quinn and the Happy Halloween ribbon. I love the colors. It's just so cute to me. And I really like how the deco tubing kind of shows out on the ends. And yes, I fluff and fluff and fluff, and I maybe kind of go overboard, get a little too crazy, but here is how it looks. I believe I added those faux pumpkins in there, but I also did go back and trim some of the tails. I just didn't do it before this, but I did go back and do that. So that will be it for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a blessed day.